Hope everyone's having a great day. So far I'm alright. I don't know how the rest of the day is gonna be, but we'll see. This week was odd. It was weird. Okay, I guess. For the most part, work was fine. There was a few things added that we weren't expecting, but we got through it. Let's see, since I know I'm gonna say this, please bear in mind this is TMI, but this is my life. I want to share it with you, and I'm gonna be quite honest with you about things. So this is me exposing myself. Anyway, so if this grosses you out, bear in mind this is just reality, and this happens to everyone. So bear in mind, okay? So, oh gosh, my hair. So, you know, last week I was on a girls trip and ate crap. I ate a lot of junk. I had like french fries, you know, a lot of carbs, pancakes, you know, breads, sugars, ice cream, just so much junk. Didn't really eat healthy. And so I was like, Chelsea, you need to try to do better this week. So I did. I ate a lot of mixed vegetables, I ate grilled chicken, fruit, you know, all those good things. And I had salads a lot too for like dinner and stuff. Well, it did a number on me, and it cleaned out my system quite a lot, which is good, but not when you're working. So basically I felt terrible. I was having horrible cramps. Thank goodness it wasn't as bad as it was, and I have access to a bathroom. But oh my gosh, it was horrendous. And it started really Thursday that I felt cramps, and so, but thank goodness I was able to hold it out for a while until like the last house, and then I was like, okay, I need to do something. And so I went to the bathroom, and then, you know, I just spilled it all out. And so that was like the worst day. So it happened a few times, and then I felt fine until like the next morning, and then I just like kept on going. I wouldn't say it was full on, it was just loose. It wasn't diarrhea exactly, but it was loose, and it was just cramping down there, and I was like, oh, that's lovely. But yeah, my stomach is still kind of in knots. I cleared out a lot yesterday as well. I was able to lose the weight that I had gained. So, you know, it's tit for tat, but I'm just grateful it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Hopefully today I'll stop cramping and feeling better, because it's annoying. I try to do better for myself and just doesn't do too well. But anyway, like I said, TMI, sorry if that grossed you out, but this is reality for me. I'm sure it's happened to you guys too, so don't go saying, oh, that's never happened. Yes, I'm sure it has. Just, we don't always like to admit things, and I'm like, you know what, I'm tired of sugarcoating things. Obviously some things have to be withheld from information, but some things I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna expose myself. This is reality. This is me. So yeah. I am surviving, by the way, coping with things. Life is, the balls are completely up in the air, and I'm just waiting for them to completely fall down. I would say they're almost there, but they're not quite, and I'm just like, Lord, let this be over with, because I'm so sick and tired of being in the middle of all this, and I just want out. That's what I want. I want out. And yeah, kind of sick and tired of feeling this way and being angry and being upset and feeling anxious and being on my tiptoes all the time, wondering what to do. Quite annoying, to say the least. But anyway, I started one of my puzzles. By the way, I had to get the one box I've been using for, that's on top of, it's the one part of the box that's part of my dollhouse box. And I use the lid for painting and stuff like that. Well, my desk is too, I underestimated this puzzle. It is huge. I had to take that part of the box and use it to put my puzzle on because my desk is too small. And guys, my desk is pretty big. It's a pretty decent size. But however, I've had to take this box and use it because this thing is just ridiculously big. Excuse me here. Alright, let's show it to you. So I started this one, okay? Okay, wait a minute. So all these are the loose pieces, but I've started, as you can tell, the edge pieces here. I've gotten all of that done, and then I'm working on some of the middle pieces, so you could tell I've got some of it done. But yeah, I have a lot to do, and I knew this was going to be a challenge, and I was like, you know what, I didn't realize how much of a challenge it was, but I was like, you know what, I'm ready for more challenges in my life. I'm tired of feeling like I can't do anything, or because of my fears and all this other jargon, that I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try to do my best to do things, even if it's small as like this type of challenge, or something spiritual, emotional, which I am going through a lot of that right now. It's been an uphill battle, and I'm like, okay, Lord, I actually had a crying jig last night, basically apologizing to God. It's like, Lord, forgive me of all this crap that I've been hoarding and feeling. It's normal to feel that way, but I don't want to feel like this all the time. So it's been really rough, and I'm like, okay, Lord, you have to break me down a bit more to help me get through this, because I don't know how much more I could take of this, and I need your help. So yeah, it's been a while since I've had a crying jig, because, you know, I've just been pretty tense a lot, and I think it's better to purge my feelings than to hoard them down. For years I was like a volcano, and now I'm like erupting, and I'm like, it's better to purge a situation instead of hoarding it down. It's healthier that way. And tell people that you trust what you're going through is important. Yeah, so what am I going to get into today? I think since Mondays I'll have off again, I'll be going to vacuum that day and worry about that Monday. Today I do need to clean the bathroom, however, it is disgusting and it needs to be dealt with. I have a couple videos I gotta edit. So, yeah, I've got some things to do. I actually need to text my sister as well. I have an idea for Mother and Father's Day this year. We really don't have a lot of pics of my youngest niece and nephew, and I was like, we do have that picture, that frame that you can download pictures, and there's pictures of them on there. That changes out ever so often, but we don't really have physically just a standstill picture. And I was like, you know what? For Ricky and Mom this year, I'm gonna ask my sister to send pictures of them and put them in frames, and then have them give them those. I think they would really appreciate those, because we have plenty of the oldest two when they were younger. I would like to have them, especially since they're coming this year in a few months to visit us. I'm like, I don't want them to feel left out of the family. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask my sister for some pictures of them individually and together. So we're going to do that. I know, yes, we have them in that frame, but I don't want them, like, I don't know if they're going to notice or not, but if they do notice, like, they have their older brother and sister has pictures of them when they were younger around and they're not there, that makes them feel left out. And I don't want them to feel left out. I want them to be part of the family now, since they are part of the family. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to text her. I haven't texted my sister in a while, and I feel bad because I told myself I would try to make more of an effort to message them, since I do have their numbers, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? My communication skills are terrible. So I need to work on that a little bit better as far as my family members. And so, yeah, I'm gonna do that today, get things rolling. So yeah, you're gonna see me later. So alright guys, it is the evening. I have not filmed much at all because, let's face it, it's a boring Saturday. Just getting stuff done around the house. So I had gotten, what did I get done today? I did some of my puzzle today, daily devotions myself, excuse me, and I cleaned the bathroom, so that was productive. Let's see, did I do much of anything? I got a nap because I needed it. Just like tomorrow, I'll be getting my afternoon nap. I'm hoping tomorrow is going to be a good day. I'm not going to have another migraine headache. That's going to be bothersome if I do. So far today I haven't, because the weather is acting kooky. It's been raining and it actually thunderstormed today. So that was interesting. So while I was taking a nap, it thundered. And of course, up here on the 3rd floor, the whole house shakes, rattles. So, but if you're in the basement, you can kind of hear it, but it's not as bad, and you obviously won't feel it because you're underground. So, but on the 3rd floor, you can definitely feel it. I had a salad for dinner because I'm trying to do better, even though I'm a glutton for punishment. My stomach and digestive system is calming down, so hopefully it'll go away and just stay at that. I did have a little cramp today, a bit of cramps today, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? It just kind of feels like having period cramps, and I'm like, ugh. It's horrible when you have to rush to the bathroom. It's just terrible. I'm just like, please stop. But it could be worse. It really could. It's not like it's consistently coming. It just happens whenever I need to go to the bathroom, and so on a regular bathroom time. So anyway, too much information on that. So one of my family members, I think he's my great uncle. I think it's a great uncle, but anyway, my uncle hasn't been doing too well lately, and sadly he passed away today. That man was a great man. He was very soft-spoken. He didn't speak. If you knew my uncle, he wasn't much for words, but he was always pleasant. He was very kind-hearted. He loved animals. That man, sorry, this is a funny part. Anytime we were at get-togethers or anything, he could fall asleep. Just if he found a comfortable chair, couch, whatever, reclining some type, he could fall asleep just about anywhere. Which was funny for me personally. I just thought he just, no matter how chaotic and crazy and loud it was, apparently he can fall asleep just anywhere. But he was a great man, and I've been praying for him personally, just to find a sense of peace when he passed. Even before I didn't know he's gonna pass today, but I've been praying this week for him, and obviously for our family. I know it's hard for my aunt, and all their grandchildren and their children and grandchildren, so I know it's hard on them to say bye to Peepaw, as they like to call him. And yeah, so I'm hoping, and I was also praying for him personally, that I hope that he was able to have God in his life. I know he believed in God, but I don't know personally if he accepted him as his Lord and Savior. So I was like, Lord, help him to find, even at his deathbed, to accept you fully, completely in your life, and, you know, forgive all of his sins and transgressions and all this other stuff, and ask him into his heart. Knowing that would be amazing, knowing that he accepted the Lord wholeheartedly, and that I could see him someday to go to heaven, because that's the only way we get to heaven, y'all. It's not by doing good works. It's not by being a good person. It's accepting your Lord as Jesus Christ, Lord Jesus Christ, into your heart wholeheartedly. That is the only way we're going to make it to heaven. So I was praying for his salvation, and praying that he would have a sense of peace going into eternity. So I don't know what the funeral and everything is going to happen, but I'm sure it'll happen soon. And then I'll be going to that as well. As much as I don't like going to funerals, I'll be willing to go to, obviously, to a family member. That's important. I hear stuff in the hallway. It's crazy. Trying to make sure no one just drops into my room. So that's why I'm like listening. But anyway, it got cold on us, so I had to put a sweatshirt on, and I had to put on sweatpants. Ooh, can't see my legs. I had shorts on earlier today, and I was like, nope, I'm cold. And I've had to put slippers on as well. It's like, oh my gosh, it's cold in here. I am kind of getting warm now again, since I've had extra clothing put on. But anyway, yeah, so I appreciate, going back to my family that passed away, I appreciate all the prayers for our family. Sorry for that little interruption. My brother barged in. I'm telling you, I know. I knew someone would charge in. He didn't knock, and I keep telling him and reminding him to please knock at the door. I could be changing, for all I know. So, boy, you need to always knock at a door. Don't just barge in. It's rude. Unless you know they're not in there. But anyway, yes, thank you for anyone who sends out prayers towards for our family. It's gonna be a rough time for all of us, so especially the ones that are really close, like his wife and his children and family members. He's actually, is he originally from Scotland? I think he is. So he has a lot of family out in Scotland as well, so I'm sure a lot of them are taking it pretty bad as well. So anyway, so I'm just glad I got to see him around Christmas time. I have a picture, one last picture of him, and he was doing pretty good then. He was having a good time with all of us and laughing and everything, so yeah. So yes, thank you for anyone that's praying for us. I am sending out prayers as well to everyone, as all the family members as well. So especially the ones that are closest, like his grandkids and kids and closer family members. I'm just kind of like, I am a family member, but I'm not, I guess you'd say I'm not as close. I don't know how to explain it, but anyway. Yeah, I think I caught up with everything that I had to explain that I've done today. So yeah, now it's everybody's favorite time of the vlog. Bible time. Oh, that's my oh my gosh, we're still in Exodus, y'all. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of getting sick of reading about the dimensions of all this stuff. But anyway, we're in Exodus chapter 38, building the altar of burnt offering. Why do I feel like we've already read this? Okay, I don't know if I've read this or anything. I feel like I have. Maybe I haven't. I don't know. It's all running into one another. But anyway, next Bezaleel used acacia wood to construct the square altar of burnt offering. It was 7.5 feet wide, 7.5 feet long, and 4.5 feet high. He made horns for each of its 4 corners so that the horns and altar were all one piece. He overlaid the altar with bronze. Then he made all the altar utensils of bronze, the ash buckets, shovels, basins, meat forks, and fire pans. Next he made a bronze grating and installed it halfway down the side of the altar, under the ledge. He cast 4 rings and attached them to the corners of the bronze grating to hold the carrying poles. He made the poles from acacia wood and overlaid them with bronze. He inserted the poles through the rings on the sides of the altar. The altar was hollow and was made from planks. Building the wash basin. Bezaleel made the bronze wash basin and its bronze stand from bronze mirrors donated by the women who served at the entrance of the tabernacle. Building the courtyard. Then Bezaleel made the courtyard, which was enclosed with curtains made of finely woven linen. On the south side, the curtains were 100 feet long. They were held by 20 posts set securely in 20 bronze bases. He hung the curtains with silver hooks and rings. He made a similar set of curtains for the north side, which was 150 feet of curtains held by 20 posts set securely in bronze bases. He hung the curtains with silver hooks and rings. The curtains on the the east end of the courtyard were 75 feet long, hung with silver hooks and rings, and supported by 10 posts set into 10 bases. The east end, the front end, was also 75 feet long. The courtyard entrance was on the east end, flanked by 2 curtains. The curtain on the right side was 22.5 feet long and was supported by 3 posts set into 3 bases. The curtain on the left side was also 22.5 feet long and was supported by 3 posts set into 3 bases. All the curtains used in the courtyard were made of finely woven linen. Each post had a bronze base, and all the hooks and rings were silver. The tops of the posts of the courtyard were overlaid with silver, and the rings to hold up the curtains were made of silver. He made the curtain for the entrance to the courtyard of finely woven linen, and he decorated with beautiful embroidery with purple, blue, and scarlet thread. It was 30 feet long, and its height was 7.5 feet, just like the curtains of the courtyard walls. It was supported by 4 posts, each set securely in its own bronze base. The tops of the posts were overlaid with silver, and the hooks and rings were also made of silver. All the tent pegs used in the tabernacle and courtyard were made of bronze. Now, the inventory of materials. This is the inventory of the materials used in building the tabernacle of the covenant. The Levites compiled the figures as Moses directed, and Ithamar, son of Aaron, the priest, served as a recorder. Bezaleel, son of Uriah, grandson of Hur, the tribe of Judah, made everything just as the Lord had commanded Moses. He was assisted by Oholiab, son of Ahishmach, of the tribe of Dan, a craftsman expert at engraving, designing, and embroidering with blue, purple, and scarlet thread on fine linen cloth. People brought special offerings of gold totaling 2,193 pounds. That is extremely heavy and a lot, as measured by the height of the sanctuary shekel. This gold was used throughout the tabernacle. The whole community of Israel gave 7,545 pounds of silver. Again, that is a lot, as measured by the height of the sanctuary shekel. This silver came from the tax collected from each man registered in the census. The tax is 1 beka, which is half a shekel based on the sanctuary shekel. Again, I don't know how much a beka is. or a shekel. Your guess is as good as mine. I could look that up myself later, and so can you, if you're curious. I have my phone on, it's charging, so I can't get to it right now. Alright. The tax was collected from 603,550 men who had reached their 20th birthday. That is a lot of people. The 100 bases for the frames of the sanctuary walls and for the posts supported the inner curtain required 7,500 pounds of silver, about 75 pounds for each base. The remaining 45 pounds of silver were used to make the hooks and rings and to overlay the top of the post. People also brought as special offerings 5,310 pounds of bronze, which was used for casting the bases for the posts at the entrance to the tabernacle, and for the bronze altar with its bronze grating and all the altar utensils. Bronze was also used to make the bases for the posts that supported the curtains around the courtyard, the bases for the curtain at the entrance of the courtyard, and all the tent pegs for the tabernacle and the courtyard. So that is chapter 38. I feel like we're ever so slow, and I am so surpassing my... Of course, I am reading my Bible every day. I'm reading a chapter every day, and I'm only reading a couple chapters each week for you guys, so yeah, that kind of adds up after a while. Why it seems like I'm surpassing Bible time on my own versus with you guys. Okay, this is called we're getting into our devotion, and it's called Wounded Worship. Or Wounded. Wounded? Okay. Okay. We're going to read in Job, which is currently where I am reading myself, personally. Alright, Job chapter 1. Job chapter 1, verses 13 through 22. Job's first test is what this is titled. But anyway. One day when Job's sons and daughters were feasting at the oldest brother's house, a messenger arrived at Job's home with this news. Your oxen were plowing, with the donkeys feeding beside them, when the Sabeans raided us. They stole all the animals and killed all your farm hands. I am the only one who escaped to tell you. While he was still speaking, another messenger arrived with this news. The fire of God has fallen from heaven and burned up all your sheep and all the shepherds. I am the only one who escaped to tell you. While he was still speaking, a third messenger arrived with this news. 3 bands of Chaldean raiders have stolen your camels and killed your servants. I am the only one who escaped to tell you. While he was still speaking, another messenger arrived with this news. Your sons and daughters were feasting in the oldest brother's home. Suddenly a powerful wind swept in from the wilderness and hit the house on all sides. The house collapsed and all your children are dead. I am the only one who escaped to tell you. Job stood up and tore his robe in grief. Then he shaved his head and fell to the ground to worship. He said, I came naked from my mother's womb, and I will be naked when I leave. The Lord gave me what I had, and the Lord has taken away. Praise the name of the Lord. In all of this, Job did not sin by blaming God. Unfortunately, a lot of us would have, as humans, would have blamed God instantly, because Job, I don't understand how he managed to keep praising the Lord and not feeling, I mean, he was sad, don't get me wrong, but he never blamed God like, oh my gosh, Lord, why did you take all that I belong, all my sons and daughters and all my belongings and people that helped me, all my workers and everything, they're just gone and dead. So he never blamed him, and I am like, wow. Bit of a saint there, aren't we there, Job? So Job is not an easy read, I will admit, along with, you know, some of the stuff that building altar and stuff, unless you're good with math and understand concept of measurements and stuff, it would make sense, but sometimes it doesn't always make sense, even to me. And Job is just kind of a depressing book to read. Unless you read all the way to the end and you'll find out Job is not always... There's a lesson in learning about grief and everything. Anyway, it almost seemed surreal, but it was horribly real. She was a missionary kid. He was a farm kid from Wisconsin. They met at Bible college, fell in love, and got married. They'd done everything right, yet they were sitting in their pastor's office planning their newborn son's funeral. Oof. That's rough. He was asking them questions, and they were doing their best to answer. The last question, however, wasn't about hymn selections or the graveside service. The pastor had just asked them if there was anything that they wanted him to tell the people on their behalf. The office was filled with silence as the couple thought. Finally, the young father spoke. He said, "Tell them that we still love Jesus. We loved him before our son was born. We love him now, and we'll love him tomorrow. Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised." Talk about a Job moment. From the midst of their agony, the young couple steadfastly declared that their love for God had not been shaken. If pain reveals what's in the person's heart, what has pain revealed about you? That I am human, that I have emotions, that I can get mad, sad, upset. Sometimes I can be patient through it, sometimes I'm not. It teaches us how to get through it. It's not always easy. Obviously, at first it's tough and rough. But it shows how strong we can be as long as we're relying on God, and how faithful we can remain in Him. He's the only one that's going to press us through the tough times. Why should we, like Job, worship God when He has allowed hurt in our lives? We should continue to worship Him despite how rough things get. We don't have to understand why. We don't have to like it, but we still should love God and obey Him and still live by His word no matter what. Ultimately, He's the author and finisher of our lives. There's nothing ifs, ands, and about it. It's just the way it is. And no matter how many times I get disappointed, I still love Him despite everything that goes on. Even where I am right now, I don't have to like where I am, but I still continue to live with the Lord because I know He's going to get me through anything. And He's going to get me through this hard time in my life and surpass it at some point. So, I will not obviously film tomorrow because it's Sunday, but I have Monday off, so you'll see me Monday. I hope you guys enjoyed this boring vlog, my boring Saturday vlogs, but I hope something helped you. Devotions, Bible time, whatever it is. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. I hope you keep on smiling. I know it's hard. I keep having to tell myself that. Stay positive. Again, hard thing right now, but I am keep going, and I'm going to keep going, finding ways to stay positive no matter what. And so, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.